Oh, yeah. Here we go once again, y'all. Welcome out. This is the Remix Morning Show. Right here on Black Liberation Media. In case you didn't know, bringing you that boom bap breakfast for you and yours. I go by the name of the Ear Doctor, but let me introduce you to the host. We got no other than LJ and Burn It Down, Kim Brad. Yeah.
Morning.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Oh,
Happy Juneteenth.
Shines across your sleeping face.
Yeah, that is
you
a
coordinated the
scandal.
white somehow, but that's cute.
It happened.
Yeah.
Now we must go back the hands of time.
Speaking about a scandalous song. Oh my God.
Wow.
Woo! Lucretia, you up on As We Lay? You know about that Shirley Murdoch scandal?
No, tell me, Kim.
As We Lay.
Now sing it, tell her.
Oh, okay. So Shirley Murdoch, who is a voice among voices, go look up Shirley Murdoch, youths 35 and under. If y'all not up on Shirley Murdoch, you need to be. But she made a couple scandalous R&B jams in the 80s. One called As We Lay. I think Kelly Price remade it actually.
Mm-hmm.
And did an amazing job on As We Lay.
Familiar.
Shout out to Kelly Price,
I
Skinny
do know
and
Kelly
Fat
Price.
Kelly Price.
Mm-hmm.
And break it down.
And so, we was laying as we lay. We forgot about tomorrow as we lay. Didn't think about the price we'd have to pay. Basically, she's sleeping with someone else's man. And then she had a song called Husband. Which you are that
Is it
lady.
the same man? That would be my question. Because I love when there's like a story arc, It's like, oh, they cheated and now they're together. Oh, great.
Then you should definitely go back and listen to Husband, because it is that kind of arc.
Oh my God.
You know what I'm saying?
Yes,
You didn't know that was that lady's husband. That's the hook.
Wow. I actually heard the original version of Young Hearts, that song.
Young Free.
I was like, whoa, like this is a sad song. She's like, don't be caught up, the way I'm caught up.
Man, that's a disco jam right there, boy. That's a skate and roller rink jam right there.
Yeah, it's great.
What was that? Gladys
Crawford?
Knight. I'm so like a pimp.
No,
Gladys Knight.
No.
No, you talking about the singer?
Who
I
sung
think
Young
it
Hearts?
was Linda Crawford, I believe.
Go ahead, Ear Doctor.
Doesn't sound right either. But
Drop some gems on
damn.
them. Oh shit, damn.
you could be right, but I don't
Somebody
know.
said Candy Staten.
Yeah, it's Candy. Yes.
Oh wow.
Look at me all wrong.
Look it. Look it.
Look at that. Look at y'all with y'all quick fingers on the Google. I'm scared of y'all.
Thank you, remixers.
Nah, the remixes be knowing, Ear Doctor. That's us.
Am I hating a little bit because I
a
did?
little bit. A little bit.
It would track. Yeah.
Man, y'all had low testosterone Tuesdays yesterday.
You've been waiting on that one, boy. She been waiting on that one. That was good. That was good. That was good. That was good.
No.
Oh my goodness. We gotta get our count up. We gotta get our count up.
Oh no.
Oh, don't do that. Don't do that. Lucretia, that makes it even worse. Oh no, you couldn't get it up.
Oh no. Sometimes you just gotta laugh.
Ouch. See, all y'all going to come through today on some I saw right. Matter of fact, let's bring in some more. Jackie Lupin.
Yo. Jacqueline, come through. Good morning.
Hey,
Good morning. Good morning, y'all. How are y'all doing?
Yeah,
We're
we
good.
doing good. Kim's over
better
here
now that
throwing
you're-
shots at us for yesterday for having low testosterone Tuesday.
Low testosterone
Oh,
Tuesdays, Hovey. It's cool, gentlemen. You know what I'm saying? I keep seeing the commercials. Who's on them commercials? Frank Thomas with the goatee.
Thomas.
hey, and my initials would be ED, right? Oh my God, I
Right.
can't.
But ear doctor, you listen, that line that you hit me with last week, you were like, yo, I don't know what y'all talking about. ED stands for ear doctor. I
That's
have
right.
laughed at that numerous times in the days since you said that.
Welcome, Jackie. And happy Juneteenth to you.
Hey.
Boy.
You look
yeah.
free.
Uh-oh. Uh-oh.
You might have been a little late, but you look free today. So happy Juneteenth.
Time is but a construct, ear doctor.
If
Freedom.
I was free, I'd be asleep still. No,
Oh,
Didn't-
that part. Jackie, I like your reaction to Juneteenth. We're gonna have to explore this once we get into the show because I have my issues, not with Juneteenth, not with the celebration that Black people have been doing for generations and decades. I'm talking about Joe Biden's federal recognition of Juneteenth. Nigga,
Right.
you can keep that shit.
We gonna
Yeah.
have to get into that after the break because I'm gonna get into that on the first break.
Oh, okay. Well, let's.
Oh,
A little
okay,
history
right.
lesson, for those who don't know what everybody's out here celebrating, buying all the watermelons and shirts from Walmarts and all that different things. Oh, yo, you got to have a watermelon on Juneteenth. Come on.
Oh, no doubt. I'm sorry. I mean,
It's just the way the segue was created. That's all.
Kind of. It's a little bit.
I'm blatant. I'm in your face with it, man. Listen,
Mhm.
you got to get the watermelons. They got the yellow on the bottom and a little bit of hollow sound when you smack it.
All
So,
day, man. And good
Yeah.
luck. If you find somebody with a
Seeded,
watermelon
too.
with some seeds in it,
Yeah.
because I'd like to eat that seeded watermelon. You
Listen.
can keep this seedless shit. What is this?
I know.
Seeded fruits really freak me out, but I eat them anyway. But
You
know.
know this. The real fruit has seeds in it. There, the fake ones don't.
Well,
Okay.
the fruit isn't fake. It's not. It doesn't.
God.
It doesn't
Modified.
transmogrify into something that's not a fruit.
Okay, well, it ain't real.
It's not that
ain't
it's not real. It's that it doesn't have seeds. It's been modified.
okay. It's been
It's
man
still
made.
a real fruit. The fruit is still real.
Is it
It's
man
not-
made? Did you get all the nutrients you would get from a seeded fruit? No.
Yeah,
that's a good
what
question.
the seeds don't have any real nutritional
Are we talking about GMOs
value.
this morning? Let's do it.
It's the fruit itself that has the nutritional value.
Oh.
The seeds are whether or not you can take the fruit itself, pluck the seeds out, and then grow some more fruit.
Yeah, and they don't want us doing that, so that's why they
Right. So
service
the fruit
seedless.
is still real. They have, if a lot of times, and people need to understand, a lot of times if fruit has have seeds in it still, that does not mean that you can take the seeds and plant them in the ground from the fruit and then you're going to get another fruit. You may get a plant and it might even flower, but because the seeds that are if the seeds are still in the fruit, because the seeds have been irradiated so they can't reproduce, then you can put that seed in the ground all you want to, but it's not going to produce a plant with more seeds. That doesn't mean that the fruit is not actually fruit. It just means that you can't grow another fruit from that fruit.
You know what I'm
And
gonna
that's
take it from
because
you.
of what they did to the fruit once but it's not fake fruit. It's
I'm
not like,
I'm gonna
alien
take it from
fruit
you.
all of a
I'm gonna
sudden.
take it from you, Jackie, because I know you from the country, so I believe you. And you be out there planting. I'll be seeing you
Don't
out
get
there.
me
So
started.
I see you was in your zone right there.
We
I
need
just
to have
okay.
like a garden segment or something. I'd love to do that on the show.
Yeah, Jackie,
would-
you need to
you
add
know-
that to your show.
Yeah, and you know what? I know that some people who are serious professional gardeners who would do
Yeah.
a much better job. I can do the little, mom and pop, hey, I got, some buckets of dirt and a little extra, little postcard lawn, you can throw some stuff in, but these folks like Duran Chavis and down in Richmond and forgot the brother's name up here in DC, that is like a industrial, scale gardener.
Uncle Ben.
Yeah, I would love to do like
That'd be awesome.
that would be great.
Okay.
Yeah.
Y'all know any of y'all two know anything about gardening? Y'all look like
Yeah,
city
I do.
girls.
I
Oh,
worked at a food nonprofit in Chicago, but also my family's from Alabama, the Mobile Bay area.
Alabama in the
So,
building.
yeah. I grew some things. My parents didn't like me gardening though, but I grew it anyway. We grew peppers, watermelon, seeded melons really freak me out, but I like to eat them though. Yeah, pumpkins. I love a good pumpkin squash. Yeah.
Kim looks like she know how to grow weed. That's about it.
I mean,
which is also
lots of
legitimate.
things need to be grown in the garden, right? Like,
And Kim
It's
did it by
legal now.
mistake.
We don't have to whisper.
Kim did it by mistake. She just was taking the seeds out the bag and threw them on the ground. It's like, oh shit, I'm a gardener. But go ahead, Kim.
No,
rude.
man. Like, no. So in terms of growing weed, I probably should give that an attempt. I still have some holdover PTSD from the war on drugs, where I know somebody who actually went down because the cops went in their house, didn't find a whole bunch of weed, but they were keeping seeds. And guess who got arrested for having a jar full of seeds?
Wow.
I mean, just outrageous things. But my people in Charles City, Virginia, they grow tomatoes. Like there's the tomatoes. So we're always looking for somebody to bring us some Charles City green tomatoes specifically, because we do the fried green tomatoes. You know what I'm saying?
So y'all know tomatoes is a fruit, right?
Sure, man. I don't.
Okay.
I'm
Yeah.
not,
Everybody knows that.
I don't want to have is tomato a vegetable or a fruit debate in Doctor.
No, they say whatever has a seed in
baby.
it is a fruit. Is that right, Jackie? Like okra.
Okra.
Okra's
no.
a fruit.
No.
Hang on, let me go read and then I'll be back.
Okra is a fruit.
All
right. What do I know?
I don't know.
I just know music, huh?
Jonathan, I know.
Go ahead.
You
Go
set
ahead.
yourself up for these things. You
I
know?
mean, so does that mean squash and zucchini are fruit? Because they do
Yeah,
have
They got
sometimes
seeds.
people call them fruit.
Cucumbers.
Yeah.
Cucumbers, fruit.
Oh
Yeah.
goodness.
Air doctor.
Hey, Zinzabel. Oh my goodness, you stay bothering me.
Drop
Hey,
the bell. Tell Zinzi Bell get up here.
Who the
No way.
hell don't know
Wait,
that
wait.
this is a fruit?
Tell Zinzi Bell.
Come on, Zinzabel. Come on.
Oh, let's not.
Where is it?
Who the hell don't know
Doesn't
that?
know a tomato is a fruit.
A lot of people don't.
What the hell
I'll
this
tell you.
year is? What you mean? How we free and you don't know tomato is a fruit? You need to be enslaved again
I
if
don't-
you don't know.
I don't look for her name. I just feel the energy, the hate. I just feel the
But
hateful
it's not
energy.
hate. It is intense correction. Is
It's
what
a-
it is. You
it's-
mistake it for hate.
It's a crush. I get it. Hey, speaking of crushes, I need y'all to crush the I need y'all to crush this button up here. Which is our new Instagram page, Black Liberation Media. So I need y'all to start following us so we can start putting some content out there. We only got 5 followers. I just did it last night. So please come on through, start following us.
Look, he did it last night, and then he texted it around at like, and I think I finally looked at it at like 10:30. I'm like, what am I supposed to do with this now? And Instagram, I don't go there.
I was held at gunpoint. Did you
vote?
vote?
Jackie, don't be visiting over on Instagram. What you talking about?
I don't mess with the, I don't mess with the Graham's denizens. I don't. They intimidate me. Them doggone kids. Get off my lawn. No.
Black Liberation Media, everybody.
Yes,
Congratulations for our new name. We are transitioning. Let's transition into some new and improved energy with this new name, Black Liberation Media. I like the name. I'm not too crazy about the acronym for obvious reasons, but
we taking over. We taking over that.
Oh, that's our
acronym.
shit now. That BLM. That's us.
Yeah. Look this way for leadership, for liberation.
I tell you what's gonna happen if one of y'all gets a mansion. I tell you what's gonna happen if all of a sudden one of y'all gets a duplex in a nice neighborhood. All of a sudden, that's
You better talk to Kamal.
Yeah.
Matter of fact, speaking of the end of this the month we will be having a get together. We'll be staying in the mansion.
The
Nah,
doctor
I'm
wants
just
us to
playing.
have a slumber party. I'm like, what? Jackie, you coming to the slumber party? Lucretia, you coming down for the live?
We got a place for you to stay, Lucretia. Come on.
The journey is longer than the
That means
event,
no.
y'all.
Yeah.
Ouch.
She's not wrong. That is she ain't down the street as it were.
She's like, this does not equate. I don't understand.
It's like 5 hours.
I do love you all, though.
You in North New York.
Right.
that's what, 6
I'm in
hours?
the
Bad
woods.
math. No.
Yeah.
No longer.
Yeah. North New York.
I never heard it referred to as North New York.
Ain't it
North
though?
New York.
Isn't it?
It's just
No,
upstate.
it
It's just
is.
upstate.
Oh,
Yeah.
upstate North is different.
Yeah.
Semantics.
North New York.
Semantics. That's what you always say to me.
Oh,
All right.
Let's kick out some details real quick, Ear Doctor. So we are having our remix
Oh, damn.
morning show
What's
live broadcast, kids, in
Mhm.
Washington, D.C. I think the address is 1301 Connecticut, 13th in Connecticut, DuPont Circle area, right off the red line.
Mhm.
Y'all better get there early because I think space is going to be a little limited. So
Yeah.
yeah.
Y'all can check our community billboard for the flyer. I will post it some more. I just didn't have it pulled up. Matter of fact, I'll make sure I show y'all the flyer before we get off today.
Brilliant.
'Cause I got a lot of things to do over here. All right. So I guess we could go ahead and get to our first break. Anything y'all need to say before we do that, ladies?
Are you offended that I said that you were clear and see-through like Westmore and Anthony Brown? Did you take offense to that? Because my mother said, you shouldn't be talking about your co-workers like that. I said, Mama, it's just light-skin jokes. We get these light-skin jokes off. It's understood that these yellow jokes are going to fly.
We have approved those. We have approved the melanated and melanated light jokes. It's love. It's all love. That's it.
Love.
This light right here is bright. I have a copper reddish skin tone, so it's not real.
Oh,
Well, are you? Is that the 2020 is that the 2024 version of I Got Indian in My Family?
I do.
Jesus
No.
Christ.
I
Can we get to this
do.
break so I can get this coffee? So
on
I
my
can get
dad's
my mind
side.
right now.
Me and Kyrie Irving. Oh man,
Oh
I'm
my
done.
God.
I'm done. Y'all don't listen. Copper reddish.
Yeah,
I'm
Doc.
telling you, when you see me and you still, Kim, you kind of look like you got jaundice. So listen, I'm gonna go ahead and go to a break.
Wow.
So you want those shots? You know you can't throw shots at the end, doctor.
All I said is that you over here telling me I
I'm
look
giving
sick.
Kim a disease.
I look see-through. I'm transparent, and I can't get that one off. I'm done. Listen, let's take a break because we need a break.
Wow.
We need freedom.
I feel delivered.
Oh my God! Right here on the Remix Morning Show. Boy, y'all see how they do me. Y'all see how they do me. Welcome out, y'all. Welcome out. This is the Remix Morning Show. I go by the name of the Ear Doctor. And yes, thank y'all for tuning in to Black Liberation Media. Spread the word. Same platform, new name, new energy, and all that. So we bring it to y'all. Thank y'all for being patient with us as we make our transition. Also, go to patreon.com, become a member over there, and see footage that's rare. And like I said before, you can follow us on our new IG page at Black Liberation Media. And do all that. We still got to get our Cash App switched over, but that's it right there, $ Black Power Media. Now, I'm doing all this asking due to us being demonetized for the next couple months, so that's really going to help us out pay some bills over here, so appreciate it. All right, boom. So we was talking earlier about Juneteenth. Let me let y'all a little history about Juneteenth real quick, because this will take you back. Now, really, on Freedom's Eve, which is January the 1st, 1863, the first watch night services took place. On that night, enslaved and free African Americans gathered in churches and private homes all across the country awaiting news that the Emancipation Proclamation had taken effect. At the stroke of midnight, prayers were answered as all enslaved people and Confederate states were declared legally free. Union soldiers, many of whom were black, marched on the plantations all across cities in the South, reading small copies of the Emancipation Proclamation, spreading the news of freedom in Confederate states. Only through the 13th Amendment did the emancipation end slavery throughout the United States. But not everyone in the Confederate territory would immediately be free. Even though the Emancipation Proclamation was made effective in 1863, it could not be implemented in places still under the Confederate control. As a result, in the westernmost Confederate state, Texas, enslaved people would not be free until much later. Freedom finally came on June 19, 1865, when some 2,000 Union troops arrived in Galveston Bay, Texas. The Army announced that the more than 250,000 enslaved black people in the state were free by executive decree. This day came to be known as Juneteenth by the newly freed people in Texas. So big up Texas for getting on last. That's crazy. Information is something when you hide it. But yeah, so happy Juneteenth, everybody. Hopefully we can continue to promote freedom. We could promote liberation. We could promote our history on a day like this and celebrate it. And, use it. We got the day. It's federal holiday. Why not use it and take advantage of it? With that said, let's go ahead and get back to the Remix Morning Crew. Nah, we do. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. All right, trivia question for you. You, dear doctor.
God damn.
Why did the people in Galveston, how do I frame this? Because it is a trick question.
Okay.
What is the reason some people did not receive emancipation until 3 years later? What's the actual reason why?
White man's a devil.
Bingo!
I got it. Here's your trick question. Here's your trick answer. How about that? Please enlighten us, Jackie.
You actually said it. You said it. And people say it all the time, but they don't understand what it means. That federal troops did not arrive in Galveston until 3 years later or whatever. But here's the thing. Here's the tricky thing about that. People always say that the enslaved population, the Africans, didn't know that they were free. And that is bullshit. Yes, they did. The idea that enslaved people anywhere didn't know what was going on everywhere else is silly, because Africans knew what white people knew, because white people had Africans doing all they shit, cooking, cleaning, sewing, wiping the behind. So Africans, even if we could not read, we knew what white people were doing. So we knew everything they knew. So the idea that Africans didn't know that the Civil War had been lost, that the South lost the Civil War, that the Union won, that slavery was now illegal. Yes, they knew, but there were no federal troops in Galveston to enforce the order. And the slave owners in Texas knew that. So they were just like, yeah, well, we ain't going to end slavery until they come and make us. And that's what happened. But it wasn't a case of, Africans didn't know that they were free. Yes, they did. Yeah, they did. Because, you know how we talk to each other, because it's weird how throughout history, they're like, oh, the enslaved had all these different ways of communicating with each other, blah, blah, blah. But all of a sudden, the same enslaved didn't know that a whole war had ended. And that the South had indeed lost. They knew, they just understood that they could not act on what they knew because they had no protection from their continued enslavers in order to make a move yet, until the federal troops made their way through the South. And that took a while. before they got down to Galveston. And then the speech that was given to them, to the enslaved population, when they came and announced emancipation, was so incredibly insulting. Because then it was like, all right, you Africans, you're free now. Yay. But don't you stray too far. And don't you be lazy. You know, now that you're free, go get a job and all this kind of stuff. So it's like, wait a minute, but I'm free. So why are you still telling me what to do? Leave me the fuck alone.
History lesson by Jackie Lukeman. Thank
There
you.
we go.
Now that y'all know out there what Juneteenth is about, and do your research, y'all. Do your research. That's what we always put it out there for you to
Oh
do.
yeah,
That.
I did read a
Nice.
piece. I thank you, Manny. Thanks a lot. I appreciate. I forgot. See, I do stuff and I forget. I wrote a
Yeah,
piece
I
about
remembered. I was
Juneteenth
like, wait,
last year, talking about all that fun stuff. I just learned some of that last year, so I just did.
Look at that. Look at that. Each one teach one.
appreciate
All
it.
right, I guess I could get up out of here and let y'all ladies get y'all Women's Wednesday on.
We didn't? Did I miss the provocative question?
What provocative question?
Oh, why did you bring it
Oh,
up?
that we start the show off with? I did
Jackie,
have
we
a
were
question.
so close. We were
We
so
were doing so well. We almost made
Look,
it.
I'm saying
Transition.
if we're supposed to be going into this new name with a
Mhm.
new attitude and all that, okay, fine. Then let's do the provocative question. Go ahead.
All right.
Okay.
The provocative question, which is not really provocative, is give me one of your favorite books or movies.
Wow.
Now, this sounds like a trick question.
It
Not
does
at
sound like
all.
a trick
Not at
question.
all. I could give you mine.
Oh, yeah.
Five Heartbeats favorite movie, Parable of the Sower, Octavia Butler book.
Oh my God, what?
Ooh.
Okay, ear doctor, you better work.
Wait a minute,
What
Jackie, why you look
happened?
so surprised?
Because I feel like there's been a shift in the universe.
Oh
My
my gosh.
Age of
my
Aquarius.
sci-fi chakra woke up.
Oh, your chakras are aligning?
No, they're not aligned. They don't
They
get
just
along
woke
like
up.
that.
the
Aw,
energy
one
pool
can
just
hope.
started kicking a little harder. All right, so enough stalling. We'll start with you, LJ. Yeah, I knew you was thinking.
I watch so much stuff, so it's hard to pick. I don't know. I'm just gonna pick because I watch so much. My favorite movie, Jurassic Park. My favorite book, Zombie by Audre Lorde.
Okay. Jurassic Park is a surprise. Go ahead, Kim.
My favorite movie, I don't really have favorite, but a movie that I will watch every time it comes on and enjoy it thoroughly is Baby Boy.
Oh my God. just turn BT on. It's on every day.
No. I can't watch all them terrible
Commercials.
overdubs of the profanity. No. I gotta watch it. I gotta see the rated R version.
Oh my God.
I love Baby
Jody.
Boy. And I recently checked out Richard Pryor's Prior Confessions, his autobiography, and I enjoyed it thoroughly. I really liked it. So
Okay, Jackie.
My favorite book is The Stand by Stephen King. I know he way problematic. I know.
Whoa.
But The Stand is probably one of the best written psychological thrillers that could very well not be a psychological thriller. And man, in some ways we're very close to it, but it is one of my favorite books. Probably, I probably read it like once every other year.
That's like that's a big
The Stand is about this big.
Yeah, it's super.
It's a big book.
Damn.
And it is the TV series was okay. Okay, no, the original TV series was garbage. The remake of The Stand was okay, but nothing compares to that book. It is amazing. And it's still, when I read it, I still have to kind of read it in a lit room. Even though I know how it's going to end, but I don't.
So Stephen King did something crazy?
What?
Huh?
What?
That's his
whole MO.
That's what he does.
No, I'm talking about he did something like bad in real life.
Oh, well, I think he's a cracker, so he can only expect but so much.
Oh,
you know what I'm saying? So I think he has said probably some whatever things. But I read it as a kid, and
no, we don't mess with that one.
Oh, my favorite was Pet Cemetery.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I like Saw. Those are good.
that has nothing to do with Stephen
That has
King.
nothing to do with
That's the
Oh,
thing.
I
But
thought we just talk about horror flicks. My bad.
No,
we're talking about Stephen King.
Yeah.
Anyway, that's my favorite book.
Yeah.
And movie.
Love
The movie.
I gotta think on that one a little bit more
All right,
because
your
it's a toss up. It's a toss up between Alien, the second one, not the first one was okay.
turn. Wow.
But that
I just saw the first one recently.
yeah, that's right up there.
Wasn't expecting that. All right. Well, thank you
Right.
for your
And
movie
giant
suggestions.
Yeah.
Alien, really?
Why? I
All
mean,
right.
I think
Why? Why are you coming for our choices?
I'm
yeah,
not coming for
you.
what was your choice again, Lucretia?
Jurassic Park.
Jurassic Park.
Yeah, okay. All right, I'll get up out of here.
Who doesn't love it? It's paleontology. It's children being chased by dinosaurs.
But
Like,
isn't it also like colonialism? Isn't it the white kind of
okay, this is what's great about it. Great about
please
it.
enlighten us.
Well, there are a few great. I
Well.
mean, you didn't say the great had to be great. You just
Right,
asked
right.
our
Favorite.
favorite.
You're
my
right.
favorite,
Right?
Clearly, they don't have
You're
to
right.
be great.
You're right.
Yes.
You're right.
I'm fine with that. Like, sure. But I did love that the worker is the reason why they had that whole issue because they didn't want to pay him. And so they put the virus in the computers. But I mean, the kids get eaten, or chased or whatever. They,
Okay.
it works
All
out.
right. Well, there's
The
your
dinosaurs
favorite.
do win.
Dinosaurs and scared white children.
It
Fantastic.
is.
Mhm.
Nothing like 5 heartbeats though, but
Again,
Agree. The Five
Yeah.
Heartbeats is a classic. No question, hands down.
y'all just shocked me with these movie choices. But
Why?
to each
you
his own.
asked for
Why?
hours. Why?
You're right.
Explain yourself.
Listen, huh? No, it's
Explain.
all
What was
good.
we supposed to say? The color purple.
Yeah, Sealy.
Raisin in
Wait,
the
No, I'm just
Raisin
playing.
in
And not even the old one. We talk about the new one with
Old
Fantasia.
Man
My whole
River.
life changed
Like,
when I
come
saw
on.
Waiting to Exhale. I mean,
Oh,
Oh, I know that's a classic. And which one? The one she burnt the car up. Stella got her groove back or something.
also the book was way better. Waiting to Exhale, way better than the
Right?
movie. Yeah.
Right?
All right. Well, just to let y'all know, I do read, so I'm out of here. I'll let y'all get to it.
Thanks, here, doctor. I went to see. What did I do? Did I see? Yeah, I went to see the
How are you
Color
feeling?
Purple on Broadway the first time it was on Broadway, and I was like, and I'd seen the movie, and I'm like, well, this is overkill. I didn't need to see this.
Are you talking about Color Purple, Jackie?
Yeah.
Did you see what Fantasia? Was it the one with Fantasia on Broadway?
Yep.
Oh, nice. And she was good. She was
really great, but I was like, yeah, this is overkill. I didn't need to do this.
Right. That's kind of how
I'm not a big, huge like Broadway. It's just that's just kind of not my. I think the older I get, I'm just like, it's too many people in here trying to watch this movie. Oh, that's not
hilarious.
a movie.
See, I love Broadway. I love the theater. I'm not really here for I don't need to see a Broadway adaptation of a movie. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm good. Like, I saw the movie. Like, I don't need to see.
I saw the movie. Yeah.
You know what I mean? So
Yeah, I'm very what's the word, pedantic, I guess.
Whoa.
Yeah, I'm not.
More
I
for
don't.
words, maybe.
Yeah, I'm not like bougie about my like reading and viewing choices, because at some point I got to turn the brain off, and television and movies is and like books, fiction is how I do it, because I can't do it easily. So I do watch a lot. I really do watch a lot of like true crime, all of them. I watch them all. I love the white on white crime shows. I love
favorite.
a good horror. I only watch during the day because I ain't stupid. These woods, I ain't playing with these.
Candyman, still afraid.
So, look, as much as I was like, wow, this Candyman is hot this year. When the remake came out, I was like, oh my, yes, I do want to be your victim. But I was like, yeah, I can't.
I feel that way about Blade. Go ahead.
Man,
was scary.
No,
First, it did
y'all.
not scare like the first Candyman scared the absolute shit out of me and scared the shit out of me like for the first 10 times that I saw it. Like, but this new Candyman, I'm like, wow, y'all are overthinking this way too much. Like, this is too much. I appreciate all the themes about gentrification and all that, but my God, can I just be scared? Because y'all, I can't be scared through all this thinking.
Through all the thinking.
Yeah.
I'm like, I ain't not supposed to be scared. How can I be scared when I'm trying to break down the the schematics of the oppression of the gentrification and all of the art? And I'm like, no, just scare the shit out of me. Yes or no? No.
Yeah, the original was like, so Tony Todd, because I love my horror and I love my Black horror cinema history. It's deep, great stuff. Tony Todd, when that movie came out, Black leads in horror were Black characters in horror were not necessarily rare, but they didn't last long, right? Right.
Mm-hmm.
And that was like, that era is where kind of the stereotype of, all Black movies, all Black people in horror movies die first, right? Which is,
right.
If you watch a lot of horror movies, you kind of know that's not true. But if you don't, it's easy to believe that it is true. But Tony Todd was like, when he was cast in that role, I remember him doing an interview saying that Black characters in horror in the US were so marginalized that a Black lead for a horror movie was unthinkable in a major kind of studio thing. So his thing was, this character cannot die. First of all, because of the storyline, of course, because he's already dead, right? And the reason he died is already political in the original, right? But he was adamant, like, yes, we can address these things, but Candyman he got to be killing white folks.
But he was,
and that was also a taboo in horror, that Black people could not be killing even a white villain, right? So yeah, that was when that movie came out, and the scene of the white lady going into the abandoned building where she encounters the Candyman myth for the first time in that filthy bathroom. Oh, that joint gave me nightmares for years. Just that bathroom scene where she goes into that thing. Because, I mean, when you grew up in the hood, there was always some kind of mythology or lore around some abandoned building, some story of a horrible, like, maniac that has either operated in the building or used to live in the building, and that's why the building has been abandoned. It's kind of the stuff that kids tell each other. But it's also wrapped up in this real life kind of neglect of working class and poor Black people in the communities we live in, so that these monster movie kind of stories generate from actual terror that's visited upon our neighborhoods. And we don't realize that that's really what that first Candyman was about. And the remake of Candyman was just kind of putting that story a little bit more upfront and still having that backdrop of, scary, psychotic, horror movie villain, just like, horror movie is. So I thought the remake was pretty good. But I don't think it was better than the original. It's just a different movie.
Jackie, what was that big word you used? Pandoramic?
Jesus.
Yep, that was it.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Nah, for real. What was the word?
Yes. Yes, because
okay.
I was talking about the rave that we throw for pandas every year, and it's just Pandoramic.
Pandorama. Ooh.
Well, I guess we about to Pandorama some news.
See, I knew that's what.
Shout out to Tales from the Hood also. Big up.
Oh,
yeah.
Big up.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I love that.
Awesome.
Anyway, go ahead, Air Doctor. Let's get into some news, you jive turkeys.
Oh.
Yeah, buddy. Welcome, everybody. It's Black Liberation Media, the Remix Morning
Woohoo!
Show. Still same black time, same black channel. It is, except now newly named Black Liberation Media. And we are so very honored and appreciative that you guys are joining us here today on the Remix Morning Show. Today is Wednesday, June the 19th, 2024. I'd like to wish a happy heavenly birthday to my grandmama, my granny. Let me call her by her correct pronunciation, Granny. Imogene Brooks Brown, born June 19th, 1916. She would have been 108 on here today. So shout out to Granny, a G amongst G's, Marlton, Arkansas's own. Fuck with her. And I like to be thank you, Air Doctor. Thank you. Yes, my granny was a real one out here, tote the pistol and everything. So, good morning, everybody. I'm joined today on Women's Wednesdays with my beautiful, esteemed comrades. We got Lucretia Williams, Jacqueline Luke Mon. My name is Kim Brown. Big up to the sis Ricky Ryan, who's out there in them streets, pouring libations for Juneteenth on today. And by the way, everybody, we are still doing a fundraiser to help Ricky get a revolutionary ride. Can I say this real quick? Y'all have stepped up in a ginormous way, and I am so deeply appreciative. Our fundraiser for Ricky's trying to get Ricky a car, because Ricky's out here in these streets and she needs a car. Like, there's no ifs, ands, and buts about it. We've already raised over $3,000, and we have received donations from over 40 people, and that has gotten us more than halfway to our goal. We still got a little bit ways to go, everybody. So for everyone that's already contributed, thank you so much. You guys are generous and awesome. If you had to wait to that second check of the month to throw a little something down on the fundraiser,
We understand.
Come on, true. We got you. No donation is too small. $2, $5, $10. Can I shout out to the anonymous donor who last night dropped $600 on the fundraiser, y'all?
Wow.
And I said, that's what I'm talking about. So if you a big timer out there, big timers, now is the time. Show off. You can big timers right now into that fundraiser. The GoFundMe link is available different places. Doctor, if you could put your hands on it, drop it in the chat for me, I would be very, very appreciative. But we are going to get Ricky a revolutionary ride this summer, everybody. And it's all because of the generosity from the remixers, the Fire Fam, BAP, everybody who opened up their wallets and their purse and dropped a little something in it, because Ricky is worthy and she is deserving.
I'm serious.
And she needs to have some wheels. She needs some wheels, period.
And I was doing that math, and I was like, oh no, somebody in Kim's Fire Fam is a sugar daddy. But y'all, or mama. I mean, look, it's 2024. What you think? I need some
equal opportunity for everyone.
That's fantastic.
Where are the sugar parents? Oh, look, Kamabi said, yup.
Kamabi said, yep. Yeah.
He said, but that ain't enough, and I'm upset.
Oh, you can give more.
Yes.
Can you double it?
The goal that so we have a monetary goal, obviously, but because we've gotten donations from over 40 folks, I'm like, can we get 100 people to make donations? Like that would knock us right there. You know what I'm saying? And like I told my folks last night, y'all, we are trying to get Ricky a revolutionary ride, not a revolutionary bucket, not a revolutionary hoopty. Okay, like
not the hoopty,
not a revolutionary hoopty. You know, shout out to the revolutionary hoopties, but no, sis needs a ride. She needs something quality, reliable, clean, something that she can also throw an additional 100,000 miles on the car. Because Jackie, you know, Ricky gonna be pushing that joint up and down the road.
You will not be able to catch her. Won't be unless you get there before she does. You gonna miss her.
I think we also don't have any choice. We have to get to the event, because I feel like it's like Ricky would be like, "Are you coming? Like, I'm on my way." You know,
right.
Now I have to say, I may impose on our sister for an occasional ride to the vet. You know what I'm saying? I just me and Bagheera might need a ride to the vet. You know, here every now and again. So, you know, please and thank you in advance. But thanks to everyone that's already contributed. Y'all have showed out in 2 weeks. I'm just blown away.
That is fantastic.
Fantastic. So, guys, let's get into some news. Who wants to start with some news? What is the news in the news?
Oh, this is an incredible story. I'm sorry. Go ahead, Lucretia.
No, you go for it.
LaQuisha, I like that.
What?
No. No.
The cr and the cr, they give me
Lucretia, I apologize. You charge that to not having coffee yet. Okay.
Oh, Jackie, I'm not even thinking about
People are asking Kim in the chat if there's a Cash App or a PayPal for the fundraiser.
The answer is no, it is not, because it's not because y'all I don't like to mix monies, so I don't send me no money. Like, send the money to the fundraiser. Like, I mean, I guess no, I don't like to mix the monies. So do not send me the money. I mean,
So
you can send me money if you want me to have some. Sure, you could absolutely send me at BIDWKB PayPal, Cash App, Venmo, but it's for Ricky. So please, I encourage you, if you're able to, please send it to the to the GoFundMe. But I think Ricky might have her own Cash App platforms, if I'm not mistaken. Unfortunately, do not know them.
Yeah, I think you can send it to LT Reading. I think that's Instagram.
We'll slowly.
Ricky, put your
Cash
your
platform
funding socials in the chat for us, please.
Yeah.
So people can toss some paper at you, not coins. Paper.
We
Hey, real quick,
tender.
I'm not trying to produce or nothing, but it would probably make sense to go into that story about Juneteenth. I was going to get into earlier.
Well, how come you ain't do it then? No, I'm sorry.
Sorry.
Can I produce you, Ear Doctor? Are we going to talk about Willie Mays and Angela Bofill? Just a thought. Thank you.
Yeah.
But what I want to say about Juneteenth, I mean, the obviously the celebration, the holiday is worthy, is deserved. I disagree with it being a federal holiday because most Black people do not work jobs in which they have federal holidays off. Like, I find it personally insulting that white folks with salaried positions and paid time off get today off for what? Just what do y'all celebrate? Like, so I disagree with Juneteenth being a federal holiday. I think it's just some low-hanging liberal Democrat, perfunctory sort of, whatever to appease to Black folks. Look at what I did for y'all, Black folks. I done made this thing a federal holiday, and y'all niggas got to work still on this holiday. So Juneteenth was fine as it was being celebrated by Black people and only Black people. I feel like making it a federal holiday is sort of like a co-optation of it. This is not a everybody fucking holiday. This is not an American holiday. This is a Black folks holiday. You know what I'm saying? So I love Juneteenth and what it has meant. I do not like the federal observance of Juneteenth. That's just me.
Yeah. No, I'm pretty similar. Like, I didn't really know about Juneteenth until maybe college. And then I was like, oh, okay. And then that was right around the time it was like, oh, let's pay attention to Black people for a second to make them think that we care about them. That was Obama fever. So when I was in college. Yeah. And I don't like the federal observance. Also, I get kind of mad because I'm like, we're so not free. You know what I mean? Like, especially coming around here, I'm like, oh, there's so much to do. But I think about liberation and freedom throughout the year. So I don't necessarily need one day, but I love the idea that people are at least taking some time in their calendar to think about it. Spiritually also.
Yeah. I feel real weird when by weird, I mean unpleasant. When white people are like, happy Juneteenth, I'm like, nah, you the reason we get away from me. Yeah. No, this is your fault.
Y'all, the attitude in which I don't know if y'all ever emailed, let's say, since Joe Biden has made this a federal holiday, you emailed a white person and then you get their out of the office reply from Karen McNamara, and it says, I will be out of the office in observance of the federal Juneteenth holiday. Karen, why the fuck are you out of the office in observance of the Juneteenth holiday? Your ass needs to be at work, okay? You specifically need to go to fuck to work.
Right. As a matter of fact, you should be at work doing my work. How about that? How about you celebrate Juneteenth by you doing my work because I ain't doing it today? How about that?
Obviously. And I have encouraged all the whites, all of them. And shout out to Franny French, because Franny French has actually dropped 2 donations on Ricky's fundraiser. So Franny, you are absolved. You have done your good deed. Franny has paid her penance. Franny is in the clear for the day. The rest of y'all, And if you have paid time off today as a white person, you must do something nice for a black person, either known or unknown to you. I don't care if that means paying for the groceries or the person in front of you, behind you at the store, paying for somebody's coffee, seeing the mother or the single father with their child out at lunch and telling the waiter, yeah, I'm gonna like to take care of that meal. Like, you have to do something for black people today. If you have paid time off, that is, you know what I'm saying? So that's mandatory. So whites, get on it. Only Franny has received her exemption. Franny is exempted. But the rest of y'all, get on that shit.
I love the way she clapped. She was like, the whites.
Hey, real quick, can Ricky put her link in the chat room if she's still listening? People are trying to send some money for the car.
Oh shit! I'll send it to you, ear doctor. I'll pull it up.
So was there a specific story about Juneteenth that you wanted us to pull up, ear doctor? Because I don't see it in the run sheet, unless I'm just missing it.
I thought y'all was talking about, y'all was going to get into a story about it, but what do I know?
Well, that was the story. Our thoughts and concerns about Juneteenth.
Well, you know, the thing about these federal holidays, other than the fact that this country's government hasn't actually done anything to address any of the lingering issues from enslavement, the period of black codes and convict leasing and this, that, and the third, after emancipation, then the period of Jim Crow, and then the discrimination that persists afterward. This government hasn't done anything to address any of those. And I mean, this government under all of the presidents. So this is not this isn't a Trump, Obama, Biden, Carter. No, this is all of them. All of them, even good guy Carter, even good guy peanut farmer Carter. Because if I start telling y'all about that nigga, y'all gonna hate me for the rest of your lives, and that's okay. I just want you to know that he won't shit neither. So,
Papa Jimmy Carter, he's all cuddly and
no, he won't cuddle. He was a cracker just like the anyway.
Just like the rest of them. That is correct.
Yeah, but it's like, you know, that this government doing things like this, you know, with the federal holidays, it's always a triple-edged sword, right? Because they haven't dealt with the reason the holidays exist, which is them, right? Which is the government in this country and the society. Haven't done anything about that. Haven't done anything about the material damages that we continue to suffer from all of that and the extra stuff they're doing right now. So it's like, yeah, we're not going to apologize for what we did to you. We're not going to fix any of the damage that what we did to you caused. And we don't want to talk about the damage that you're still dealing with now, but we're just going to make this a federal holiday because you know what? We got to throw y'all niggas a bone. So there you go. You did it. Oh, and by the way, most of y'all can't get the day off anyway. So happy Juneteenth.
Happy Juneteenth. Here's some cute towels and some watermelon merchandise.
Isn't there merch lines at Target and Walmart for Juneteenth and red, black, green? Y'all get me out of here. Beam me up. Where are the aliens? Y'all are moving too goddamn slow.
I think they drive by and they're like, they're not ready yet. Like, they're not ready for contact.
Please come get me. Please come get me.
One of the aliens is like, come on, we're running out of planets. What about the humans? And the other aliens are all in unison. No,
not the humans.
Don't fuck with them.
We don't go in that neighborhood.
I'm so sick.
But no, like is the hood of the galaxy.
Listen, I recently read about the Freedmen's Bank, and my heart broke. Like every time I read stories about what our folks have endured, that's something that I did not previously know. I'm like, oh, there's my heart breaking all over again. The Freedmen's Bank that they set up after emancipation for formerly enslaved people to put their money in the bank because y'all got to put y'all money in the bank. They had Fred Douglass out there as the face for that shit. And then all of a sudden, the Freedmen Bank, all of a sudden, that shit went broke. Don't nobody know where the black folk money went. It just up and disappeared. And it was never coming back. Them folks never got their money back that they had put in, which in modern terms would have equated into millions and millions of dollars. And I'm like, wow, the Africans got from the whole time. Like, when have they not been stealing?
All the time, continuously.
He is pissed off at this. This black dog back here is like, let me tell you why I'm bite these people. This is why you had to get me out of that shelter in the middle of nowhere in Virginia with them white people. Because let me tell you something, mommy.
Right. And I feel like for me, especially, the empire's birthday in July is like the worst day ever now. Like, it's so traumatic. I see those flags and I think, ooh, fascism. Like, I got to go inside. I can't even go inside because it's everywhere. You can't escape the fireworks. It's like, look, we won. Like, fuck you. Like, it's terrible. I don't know. That's how I feel.
Yeah, it's. I don't know that we ever, because I'm from the South. I don't know that we ever like celebrated Juneteenth. I think we knew about it from a historical sense, but we always kind of talked about it. Like when I always had these conversations with my grandmother, it was always like, wow, I didn't know you knew that. And she said to me one time, she's like, so why would you think I wouldn't know that though? She's like, I am old. I have been around. I have seen these things. And so the conversations I would have with my grandmother and my mom about these kind of things it was never like, oh, look at the evil things the whites did. It was like, well, because that's how they are. So it was never like, this shocking thing. It's just like, yeah, you need to be careful of them because all of this, just watch your back, but it was like never like a celebration. So I'm not sure. I don't know if I'm not familiar with people that I know where I grew up celebrating Juneteenth. And I felt like I've heard about that, like in Texas and maybe some places in the Midwest, but that wasn't like a widespread celebration of Juneteenth before it was a federal holiday, right? I think that we didn't know a lot of our history. And that's fine because it was kept from us. And then when we found out, it's like, hey, this is something else we can celebrate, and that's great. And as soon as we said, hey, this is something else we can celebrate, the state was like, oh no, we got to take this over because we can't have you taking that and thinking that that you actually are free. No, you're not. So now we're going to enslave your holiday now.
It gives big vibes of if you guys are familiar with the Caravana celebration that they have annually in Toronto, which is a celebration of Caribbean culture and has been something that the Black folks in Canada have been doing for a very long time. And now it's been corporatized and co-opted. It's the Scotiabank Canada Caribbean, cultural celebration. And it's like, what the fuck? What happened to Caravana? And as in Juneteenth, in this area in the Mid-Atlantic, I don't think that there was a lot of celebration. But like I said, I got shipped to Arkansas every summer from little kid to early teen. And by this time, I was already in Arkansas because school was out, and they put me on the first thing smoking. Mama said, "Deuces, I see you in August." And so, but by the time I'd be in Little Rock around this time, them Juneteenth celebrations was popping every single year. My grandmother's church would have a celebration, but I mean, and I can only speak about Central Arkansas. Like it was a widespread thing. Like there were Juneteenth celebrations all over the place. And that's something, like I said, that's definitely from the 80s and definitely I would imagine before. So I guess it kind of depends on where in the country, particularly, I guess, where in the South your folks hail from, and to determine how big or small that they mark the Juneteenth celebration. But I've always known about Juneteenth since I was little kid. But that's only because of Arkansas, not because of Maryland.
All right. Well, Let me jump into my intellectual bag here. I would say Juneteenth is a pacifier. It pretty much is saying, you got your freedom, niggas. Why y'all still trying to get it? Why are you seeking liberation? Why are you seeking freedom? We gave it to you on June 19th.
But that's not. But Air Doctor, Juneteenth is something that we determine, not the white. The whites have determined the federal.
We talk about the Fed. That's what I'm talking about. The federal
Okay.
holiday.
Well,
Y'all be trying to come at me. Y'all gotta listen to me sometimes
I
before y'all
try.
ready to
hard,
jump
though.
up.
It's tough. I'm sorry.
Boy.
Yeah, I mean,
When I'm on my soapbox, sometimes you just gotta let me,
we
More
just
like
gotta
a
let you
hot
know,
box.
your doctor. We just gotta let
Yeah.
you know.
But we only
Yeah.
got one
Yeah.
day, your doctor. It's Women's
I mean,
Wednesday.
yeah.
So,
Okay,
no.
my bad. Well, you right. Let me shut up and get to the break so y'all can get to some more news. Right. All right, so let's go ahead and take a quick break and we're gonna get back.
You
right
are
here.
not subtle with your subtleties, Air Doctor.
I'm just gonna ignore it. I'm just gonna
Subtle
ignore
as
it.
a sledgehammer, y'all.
I'm gonna smile.
Subtle as a sledgehammer to a plate glass window. Yes,
Sledgehammer.
Oh, damn. You should
I
rock
love that
Right.
song, though.
That's the 80s right there. You don't know about that, especially
I
Lucretia.
don't.
All right, let's
Wasn't
go
thinking
right
that.
here on the Remix Morning Show.
Hey.
Yeah. What's good, y'all? Welcome out to the Remix Morning Show. As you see, we like to send a big up blessings to the family of Willie Mays. That's right. Just made his transition, and historical figure that took baseball to the next level. So big up to Willie Mays. All right. With that said, we're gonna get into a little bit of music getting played here. Artist spotlight time. So who do I want to talk about? Somebody y'all might not know much about. She goes by the name of Angela Bofield. Thank you, Kim, for trying to ruin my segment. Angela Bofield. So, bam, she is a singer, songwriter, coming from Cuban and Puerto Rican backgrounds. That's right, but she started it off in New York City. Back in the 1970s, she had a big single called This Time I'll Be Sweeter and I'll Try. Now, funny thing about the song I'll Try is you heard it from Will Downing Jr. Yes, he did the song, and I'll try, and I'll try, and I'll try, and I'll try to make you. You know, that song right there. But she did it first. That's right. That's where he got that from. But like I said, she came straight out of Brooklyn, New York. And she started off young, getting into some choruses and at New York City's All City Chorus Choir. And then she went to Hunter College High School, did that, and then went to Manhattan School of Music, receiving a bachelor's of music degree in 1976. So she was serious about this music thing. Now, reason you probably don't know a lot about her because she was dabbling into jazz and R&B. So that's how she pretty much got into the game of jazz and R&B. But she had a good writer, Gwen Guthrie, actually, who ain't nothing going on but the rent. She was one of the writers on the song This Time I'll Be Sweeter. So, like I said, she's put in she started in 78. Last album was in 1996. So she got about 7 or 8 albums. So if you want to go check out some more about her, please do. Thing is, she had a stroke and she was paralyzed on one side of her body. So that pretty much took her out the game when it came to singing. So big up to the sister. She just made her transition this month on June 13th at the age of 70. So that's what it is. Angela Bofield, y'all. Now let's get back to the Remix Morning Crew. You know how we do.
Man, my whole teenage years, childhood, just passing away before my eyes.
Right? Crazy.
That's crazy, man.
Yeah.
Oh,
all this month. I mean, I guess we are at that age where a lot of people we knew were going to be starting to pass.
It's wild how when people, talk about these artists who, and you don't think about the fact that they were adults when I was, in high school. So it's like, okay, I don't know why I expected you to live forever, but doggone, I didn't expect this is all at once. This is, and of course, it just makes you realize, how old you really are. You're not, Not 20, not 30 no more. Nope. Not 40 no more. Nope. None. All gone. Gone.
Thank you, Mr.
All
Spencer.
downhill from now.
Talk
Yeah.
about my beautiful voice when I was singing. I try. Appreciate it. Go ahead.
And the passing of Willie Mays, Willie Mays as a baseball icon. Again, I almost hate the word icon because it gets overused and misused. So when it actually applies to someone like a Willie Mays, it sort of falls short as a descriptor. But just a towering giant in baseball, as for Black baseball players. He's Barry Bonds' godfather, and I know he's got way more better superlatives than that. But for him to pass away now at 93, especially in the wake of the Negro League baseball players having their statistics added to the Major League Baseball statistics and showing the superiority of Black baseball players, Willie Mays passing is the end of an era. Let's put it that way. And in terms of the whole death comes in threes things, when it comes to sports figures, we have Willie Mays and then a couple of significant Jerry West and Bill Walton, all passing within quick succession. So interesting.
Yes. All right, there it is. I'll get out of here and catch you on the next break. Peace.
Thank you, Air Doctor.
Thank you so much.
Remixers, thank you all so much for joining us this morning on Black Liberation Media. It is Jackie, Lucretia, and Kim. Thank y'all for, indulging our Juneteenth opining. And we are going to transition into some actual news, to please the boss. Because boss, when boss gets mad, boss.
Wait, I thought we was free. Doggone it. Y'all confusing me now. Wait, I thought we were going to be free for the rest of this show, or we're going to have a boss. Now, look, we cannot keep doing it both ways.
I'll let you know after the show, like they let them know later.
Just fits it. Well, how can we be Black Liberation Media on Juneteenth and we still talk about we got to do what the boss do? No, we don't.
I'll let y'all know 3 years later when it's over.
Shut up, Ear Doctor. That's part of our freedom, right? Like once we get our freedom from some folks, then we got to go get our freedom from other folks. I'm not naming no names, though. I'm not gonna name no names, but y'all
I thought we were a media collective, but
right, a workers. That's what.
Not on Women's Wednesdays. Certain people get to tell us what to do on Women's Wednesdays. I'm just saying. Anyway,
what did what's her face say in the what was that, the first season of Game of Thrones? The dragon lady. What she go to the slave market and tell those people to do? Kill
the masters.
Kill the masters.
Daenerys with words to live by. Kill the masters. Write it on your wall. Spray paint that shit outside your house. Kill the masters. Yes.
Y'all done?
Especially on July 4th. Okay, now I'm done.
Okay. All right. Yes. Let's get to some news.
There's
actually a really good story.
But vamos. Anywhere you want to go, Jackie.
Cool. So this story, it's a very serious story, but it tickles me because of how little we know about the history of lots of things. But this story, I'm going to start here. This AP is reporting that a Florida jury finds Chiquita Brands, that's the banana people, but they, process a lot of other fruit products, found them liable for Colombian deaths, and they have to pay $38.3 million to the family members of those people who died. So let's go down. And by the way, $38.3 million is like literal pocket lint from hand-me-down clothes for Chiquita Bananas. Do you understand? Yeah. That's how insignificant that amount of money is to a company like Chiquita Bananas. Banana giant Chiquita Brands must pay $3.83 million to 16 family members of people killed during Colombia's long civil war by a violent right-wing paramilitary group funded by the company. The verdict Monday by a jury in West Palm Beach marks the first time the company has been found liable in any of the multiple similar lawsuits pending elsewhere in U.S. courts. Lawyers for the plaintiff said it also marks a rare finding that blames a private U.S. company for human rights abuses in other countries. Stick a pin right there because that is incredibly important.
Wait, read that again, Jackie. Did you say that's the first time?
It is the first time in the history of U.S. imperialism and corporate colonialism. It is the first time.
Wow.
And let me thank you, Kim, for your perfectly placed question, because let me explain why this is important. Because this story, this is, I won't say it's a small story. It is a small part of an enormous bloody history behind bananas. So let me stop sharing here. And where's my other story?
The first time.
Here it is.
Criminal.
Chiquita Bananas, CIA-funded coups, and Colombian hit squad.
Oh my God. See, this is why we was rooting for FARC. Is this why we was rooting for FARC? I'm sorry, maybe I was rooting for FARC, but man.
No, yeah, this is why. Yeah.
Right, we was rooting. Don't mess with Chiquita. We'll start a coup or war against you. Oh, wow. This is a fantastic question. Why do people in the United States eat so many bananas? And I do love bananas. Bananas are a staple of American breakfast, specifically Chiquita bananas. Easy, quick, and nutrient dense. Families for generations have been turning the phallic fruit to start their day.
Oh, wow. They didn't have to include that. They just could have left that.
That really does mess up my cornflakes and my Cheerios, but okay.
Phallic fruit.
However, the Chiquita Banana Company, formerly known as United Fruit Company, has a dark history of oppression and violence that would make even the drug cartels proud. It's bad. I think it's time we reevaluate our love of the banana and consider a new fruit without such a violent path to our mouths. Few Americans know the true devastation and the political instability that Chiquita Bananas have left behind wherever they were. The multinational United Fruit Company, which later became known as Chiquita Brands International, was involved in a controversial operation to overthrow the Guatemalan government in 1954 with the help of the Central Intelligence Agency. Why come? Because in the early 20th century, the United Fruit Company had significant economic and political power in Central America where it controlled, meaning they stole large swaths of land and employed thousands of workers. Employed is not the right word. They basically enslaved thousands of workers in Guatemala and throughout Central America. The company's influence is extended to the Guatemalan government, which was friendly to the U.S. interests and supportive of United Fruit's operations. However, in the 40s and 50s, a social reform movement emerged in Guatemala that sought to redistribute land, that's socialism, y'all, and wealth, socialism, improve workers' rights, socialism, and challenge the dominance of foreign corporations like United Fruit, also anti-imperialism. The movement was led by Presidente Jacobo Arbenz, who was elected in 1950 and implemented land reform policies that threatened the interest of United Fruit. In response, United Fruit lobbied the U.S. government to take action against Arbenz to coup him, arguing that his government was communist. Well, I mean, it was socialist, and posed a threat to U.S. interests and the region. What does that mean? They were going to take the stuff from Chiquita and nationalize the company and redistribute the profits to the people. United Fruit Company won't have it, and the U.S. won't have it. The U.S. and United Fruit Company basically wanted to keep their plantation economy, harvesting fruit, mostly bananas, from Central America, because the United States at the time was the second largest economic market to maybe Europe. But the US didn't eat bananas like that. Neither did Europe, really. And United Fruit is down there in South America like, man, all these bananas, what are we going to do with them? Oh, I know. We're going to seize this land. We're going to capitalize on these fruit that most people in the big capitalist markets don't eat. And we're going to push this fruit on them, make it a staple in their diet to the point that they can't do without it. We are going to continue to control somebody else. We, meaning United Fruit, is going to continue to control the land of the South Americans because they've got the bananas. We're going to enslave the people to make them work on these plantations, and we're just going to keep all the money. And if anybody gets in our way and don't like it, we will kill them, and we'll pay the U.S. to do it because we are bigger than the U.S. government. And at the time, United Fruit Company was pretty much, they were able to tell the CIA, a private U.S. company, was able to tell the CIA, we, United Fruit Company, need you to get rid of this democratically elected president in this company, in this country where we have operations. That's Chiquita Bananas, y'all. And Guatemala was not the only place that this happened. Several other countries in South America were under the control of United Fruit Company. They stole, I don't know how much land in I don't know how many countries. But the reason we eat bananas for breakfast is because of colonialism. Brought to you by the United Fruit Company, plantation slavery, and bloody CIA coups. Happy 4th of July.
I mean,
I'm a little stuck. I'm a little stuck off all that information. Obviously, none of that is surprising, but when it is laid out right there, it's like, oh wow, well, there we go. Corporate interests really dictate global policy, right? And the way when you guys remember, this was on Twitter a few years ago before he took it over, but Elon Musk, made a joke about, trying to get the lithium stores in either Bolivia or somewhere, and he made a joke on Twitter and said, we cool who we want, it's like, but you ain't joking.
No,
joking.
And see, here's the thing that people don't realize is that the corporate bosses today, believe me, they know this history. They don't look at this history though as, oh my God, that's awful. The human rights abuses, the enslavement of the people, and United Fruit Company had their own goons. They had their own death squads. They had their own police force. The people who worked on the United Fruit Company plantations, they were plantations. So the land didn't belong to the people. They were peasants. They were kept poor. They were not paid decent wages. They were worked to death. And if they revolted, and there were a lot of revolts throughout the global South against United Fruit Company, but United Fruit Company had no problems killing people who opposed them. But when the people organized and elected a leader from among the people, even the United Fruit Company realized, okay, this is something even we can't do, but we know who can: the CIA. And Banana Republic, that term comes from the coups funded by the United Fruit Company. That is how much enormous influence that company had, and the blood-soaked legacy, that blood-soaked history. When those Banana Republic stores popped up, I was like, white people have finally just flew the fucking coop. What the hell?
What was terrible about I remember, because I tried to spend a lot of time in the mall growing up, and they had like a dress code and they wouldn't let certain people in. And I was like, oh, what? So
it's really a Banana Republic at Banana Republic.
Really is a Banana Republic there. And when I was being indoctrinated for my political science degree, the big case that we were learning about was Nestle. And I just couldn't believe that we were learning about this company that was quote unquote sweet behind chocolate, another food that is soaked in blood in South America. And then Nestle literally sucking South American countries dry, using all their water and selling it back to them at exorbitant fees. And I just thought, why am I learning about this like it's in the past tense when these indigenous water groups were fighting while I was studying this? And then, they had the nerve to be like, well, how can we fix these places? Let's give them loans. And then we learn about the IDF. Sorry, the IMF, the International Monetary Fund, not the IDF.
Everybody.
Well,
bunch of fascists, same thing.
Everybody terrible. All the I and the F's, awful organization.
All of them, all of these acronyms are just horrible, soaked in blood. And so they're like, well, we'll just give them loans and they can pay it back. And I thought, surely you can't be teaching this to us. But that is the effect of fascism on society, on our youth, in our families. We just eat these foods not thinking about it. Or these are the only foods available to us, because we were talking about earlier, like with Monsanto, we can't even have foods that reproduce on their own naturally. We can't even grow our own foods without being fined. So just learn, I was so upset that this was what I was learning as a student of empire. I didn't think about it, at that time as that, but they were teaching this to me and every other generation afterwards to indoctrinate us into this project of empire. And we can just say, well, those are just poor countries over there that just don't know how to grow things. For Jamaica, it's loans. For Haiti, it's sugar and gas. And for Guatemala, it's bananas. And, it's just a cute place to vacation. And, it's just terrible. I don't know, becoming decolonized through actually sitting and thinking about this has been a lifesaver for me, because it makes sense why our people have been struggling all around the globe.
But it's like, what do you do with this information? Because, there is no ethical consumerism under capitalism, right?
No.
So where can I go get the, the free trade bananas? Where do you go get them at? But
that's exactly what you do with the information. You ask that question. That's what the information is supposed to do. You're supposed to be sitting there like, shit, all of our meals are colonized. Like, our food is colonized. And we don't understand that without knowing this information. Because now, when I learned about this, like 10, 12 years ago, I can't remember why or how I learned about United Fruit Company, but I went down the rabbit hole and I'm like, Jesus Christ, we would have never eaten bananas if these people hadn't got, because nobody was eating bananas like this, just like nobody was drinking milk. Like, like
sugar. So, it goes back to sugar, right?
Coffee,
rice,
Then what do you eat? Do you just wither away and die in a cave? No. So what do you do?
Get back on that meat, baby. You better put that sow in the backyard. Take care of her. Sorry. My bad, vegans. Y'all, y'all be okay. Shut up, your doctor. Shut up, your doctor. You used to eat bacon, nigga. You used to eat bacon.
Hey, I sure did. My mom from Alabama, dad from Texas. I ate rooted to the tutor.
Scrapple. You probably ate all.
I had chitlins before.
Oh, of course you had chitlins.
Yeah, chitlins.
Oh my God. Ugh, I can't even think about that. Eating.
Only bad thing about the chitlins is the smell. But it's not cheap. That's why you have to clean the chitlins. You have to clean them.
Yeah.
Yes, you have to. You got to put a little bit.
Why the hell would I want to eat a food I just cleaned with bleach? I mean, that
have
right there.
Eaten so many foods that have contained things that none of us can pronounce. So a little bit of bleach, you're gonna be all right.
Yeah, I'm terrible when it goes in the stores right now. I read all the labels and stuff and just be like, and the thing about it is, I try to go out and eat out at restaurants, and I just realized I got to go to the grocery store and find something and go home and cook it, because it for one thing, it's the energy of the cooks that's underpaid in these different restaurants that's going into the food, and then at the same time, you just don't know what they're putting in it.
The energy of the cooks. I had not even thought about that part, ear doctor.
Oh, definitely. I mean, underpaid. How you don't give a fuck about this food? You just gonna go ahead and throw it together.
Try to go to a family-owned spot, right?
Mm-hmm.
Where the family is cooking.
Yeah. All right. Well, I guess we could take another break. I know Kim and LJ got some more stories.
Why you keep calling this lady LJ? I'm in confusion.
Am I wrong, LJ?
Oh no, he's correct. No,
Why?
No.
Where'd it come from?
So my name, Lucretia Jasmine. LJ has been in my family, so I think I want to just condense it down and be LJ. So.
Oh, nice.
Look at that.
Okay.
Look at that. All right.
Oh,
Speaking of
Your whole government, though, I like saying your whole government. Lucretia Williams.
Lucretia Williams,
Make a different name in the future.
Because it's almost like Kim Brown. Like I feel like there's a Lucretia Williams in every town. You know what I'm saying? Like,
really? That's so funny.
I do.
There's a lot of Lucretias out here.
You know that girl Lucretia?
Mm-hmm. And that's how you guys say it. Mm-hmm. I know Lucretia.
Wow, this is so interesting. I usually get two reactions. I get, "Oh, I love your name. It's so beautiful," or I get, "Oh, your name is so ghetto." Those are my two.
Yeah, it is.
Reactions.
What? I mean, it's true. She just said it. If Lucretia said it, it's true.
I'm not saying I agree. I'm just saying say to me.
We're just stating the facts. We're not talking about the quality of the information.
That's it. Oh, I found a flyer. So the Remix Morning Show All Stars live June 29th. Let me do how they do the Latino commercials. The Remix Morning. The Remix Morning Show live June 29th.
June.
Time 1 p.m. to 4 p.m.
You're giving me Mexican Macho Man Randy Savage here.
It is, right?
Oh, yeah.
Where? No, let me stop. All right, 1301 Connecticut Ave, Northwest Suite 600. All right, Washington, D.C., 200236 is the zip code. So come on out, y'all. It's going to be pretty dope.
I'm going to drive by that because that sounds real fancy to me.
Leave the guns in the crack and the knives at home. Leave the guns in the crack and the knives at home, y'all.
Yeah,
it's not that kind of party. It's going to be easy. It's going to be grown people. And it's going to be in the middle of the goddamn day. So I suggest that y'all make some metro considerations because parking around DuPont Circle in the middle of a Saturday.
Oh, word. It's not happening. All right.
It's going to be tough. Not impossible. Not
Okay.
impossible, but tough. It will be
tough. At any time after 11, I'm sorry, you short. Everybody is already out parked.
And you know, DC is bougie is a brunch city. Oh, let's go to brunch.
Oh yeah. Yeah. I mean, that's where all the big deals go down in DC. You know, the big political deals and stuff. All right. Well, let's go ahead and get into a quick break, and then we're gonna come back with some more right here on the Remix Morning Show. Let's go. 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 Let's do a remix on the remix. Let's go. Let me take you to a place right here. Said I'm gonna sing this chorus. Break it down.
Paradise within my life with you.
Woo! Let me tell you about this.
Heaven opened up its gates, and peace of mind can shine. You smiled at me when the world was unkind.
All right, let me tell you a little bit about this song right here. This little mix-up collaboration with no other than Tanya Stephens off her album Gangsta Blues. This came out in 2004, and this song is It's a Pity. Yes, mixed with a little bit of Angela Winbush. Yes, off her album Sharp that came out in 1987. And this song is called Angel. So big up to these two sisters that came together and made it happen on this beautiful Juneteenth day right here on the Remix Morning Show. That said, let's get back to it. You know how we do it.
The sun can rise and set with no regrets. I can forget all about my blue.
Yeah.
Angel. What a jam, Angela. That's in that
Yes,
she pronounced her shit fancy. You know, it's not Angela. It's like Angela.
Is she?
I thought
Angela Wimbush? I always say
but
Angela.
I thought she said Angela. Whatever, but it's a dope jam. I thought the people gave you a little bit of a hard time yesterday, Doctor. Did that, the Jody Watley over Step in the Name of Love.
Oh, I thought she was talking about yesterday. I got
When it yesterday?
What, when I played R. Kelly
We played Step in the Name of Love, the
mixed
beat,
with
Jody Watley, right?
With Levert.
Oh,
Casanova.
Yeah, no, that was you did something else with Jody Watley that was also dope. Maybe that's why I had that on the brain.
Okay.
Other people gave you a little bit of a hard time for that, Ear Doctor, because it was just it was the instrumental. To your point, should the producers and the writers and everybody's be punished for the deeds of one? Maybe not, but I think R. Kelly was pretty hands-on in all of his shit, right? Like he produced, wrote, arranged, he did everything. So I don't know.
We're all walking contradictions, so
He sure was hands-on.
Oh shit.
Oh, all right, we're not gonna go in the past. I don't want tomatoes getting thrown at me again.
You be okay.
Thank you, Kim, for bringing that back.
Sorry, but I mean, I guess I came on to defend you in a bit. I said I think the people gave you a little bit of a hard time, maybe a little bit underserved hard time.
Listen, it was a good two-step song that was sullied by his actions. So I got that one right then.
You did. Correct.
You did.
Later.
It was artful too. Yes. Yes.
Sully. I enjoyed that. Thank you.
Smart man departed the stage on a high note. That's what you do, Ear Doctor.
Love awoken.
Go out on top. That's correct. Yes, remixers. It's Black Liberation Media. Get it right. Be sure to reprogram yourself, deconstruct yourself away from Black Power Media and reacclimate yourself to Black Liberation Media. That's us now. So follow us around the internet, different places. Black Liberation Media on Instagram. I think we still got the Twitter. I guess they're just going to change the name of the Twitter. And anywhere else where we once was Black Power Media, we are now Black Liberation Media. Please join us on this journey. Please and thank you.
So much. Okay. Who's got another story?
I sent you a story. I hope maybe I didn't send it.
Wait.
I thought I sent it. Cause France's colonies or former colonies is bringing the motherfucking ruckus, and I do not know enough about it. But is this a story about New Caledonia?
Oh yeah. Yeah, this is very fascinating.
Let's do it.
So wait, hold on one second. New Caledonia, you guys, I'm pretty good at world geography. Ask me where the fuck New Caledonia is. Ask me where New Caledonia is, because I cannot identify. I do not know. I know I think in the Pacific somewhere.
Yes, I can tell you that much.
Yeah, it is there. And I only know because I chose the French indoctrination track. So we had to learn about la francophonie. And so Nouveau Caledonia was there. Yeah. Also Réunion.
So in addition to obviously what's going on in the Francophone countries in West Africa, New Caledonia is cutting the fuck up, as is Martinique and Guadeloupe, if I'm not also mistaken. So let us get a little bit. This is a Sky News package, so it is also produced of the Empire. So we know how they're gonna spend it. But I'm curious, what is the spin here on New Caledonia and its protest against its French imperialism?
France is announcing the suspension of the controversial voting reform in New Caledonia in response to the unrest recently. France's President Emmanuel Macron says his government will renege on the laws to re-establish order in the territory. Members of the Indigenous community feared the changes would marginalise them. At least 9 people have died since the violence began last month.
Oh wow.
Oh, so you see those people? You see what them people look like?
Brown.
That's why you don't know where it is. that's why we don't know where it is. And that's why we don't know anything about what's going on between those people on those islands and those former colonies and France today. That's all you need to know.
So I saw an African gentleman. Unfortunately, cannot recall his where he was from, but he featured an article on his either Twitter or TikTok page where the French economic minister, or I think a former economics minister for France, or the finance minister, said that if France doesn't get a hold of its colonies, he said that the French, I'm assuming he meant the white French, the children of current white French people are going to have to go to Africa to get jobs.
Wow.
And I said, France must be way down way worse than is being reported here in the United States. Because
I mean, I think France has got so many unruly Africans to deal with. And, you know, you got Mali, Niger, you know, taking away military bases and, you know, kicking the French out. They're just got a lot going on right now. And so what they're trying to do is make sure that because these overseas departments, they're called, are technically parts of France, technically. And so they hold elections just like what's happening in France, in the mainland, quote unquote. And mainland France is going to the far right at the moment, just like a lot of other countries in the EU. And they want to give overseas French citizens the right to vote and citizenship immediately upon moving to Conquis or Nouveau Caledonie. And so this would immediately make the indigenous folks be a minority in the parliament, which of course they're like, excuse me, we don't want to do that. And I don't know much about the movement for freedom there, but I assume if it's anything like what's been going on in Papua New Guinea that happened, I think 30 years ago now, or what's going on in Africa, then I assume they're done with dealing with this French connection, and they want it to be. So now France has to evacuate its citizens, because again, these overseas departments are also like vacation places, right? So it's like all these people are there, French people, like, oh my gosh, we were just here getting our coffee and croissant, and we didn't know that the darkies were going to start setting shit on fire. So they're having to evacuate French citizens. That's my understanding of what's going on. I would love to learn more. But shout out to all the unruly Africans in Burkina Faso, in Mali, Niger, just cutting up and saying no to La France. You know,
those people in France were on their little resorts on New Caledonia, and they're like, "Where are my croissants? Where is the breakfast? Where is the waiter? Why is he holding a torch? What is happening? Oh no!"
I mean, it's also important to know too that France, Macron actually dissolved the parliament and ordered for snap elections, and they've got Marie Le Pen, who is like a straight up Nazi, who is slated to get a majority in their parliament. I don't know. It's just, going to the far right like everywhere else. So
Europe does not learn. Y'all don't learn that. This is why bad things happen in Europe, or more bad things should be happening in Europe. Sorry, Europeans, my bad. But look at y'all, World War One, World War motherfucking two, and here y'all go again. Y'all go again. No lessons learned. None.
Thank you so much, Evan G. Lyon, for telling us that New Caledonia wanted to hold elections for independence. What I tell you. But France strategically held it during COVID. So not a lot of people could go out to vote, and the people ain't having it. Can you imagine what General Ibrahim Traore are over there saying right now in the Sahel states? They talking to each other in the new alliance of the Sahel states, and they're like, hey, brother, they say that the French will have to come here to get jobs. And they're like, oh, no, there are no jobs here for them.
No.
And then they all laugh in that African way that we love.
We love it. We love it. Yeah, like go ahead, Kim.
No, I'm just saying all the simultaneous, turmoil and uprisings like happening in these colonies, like specifically in these French colonies, all at the same time. Like it's French. Y'all might be donezo out here outside of the European borders. You know what I'm saying? Like everywhere that you thought that you had is not only turning against, but putting y'all out, like putting y'all on the ships and sending y'all the fuck home. We ready for this, friends? Yeah. Y'all ready?
No, they're not. And they think that they didn't learn from World War I and World War II. Obviously, when all of France was just taken over, I guess they just okay. But Senegal also has been going through a lot too. They just had presidential elections, and I love the rhetoric at the moment coming out of there. But Dakar was the center of the West African World Bank, so like Senegal was pretty strategic in terms of shipments and sucking things dry out of the interior of the continent and shipping it directly to. They even have this horrible agreement where Senegal will get the old kind of broke down cars from France, and they will be shipped over to Dakar. And so you see all these like really old, like crappy, Peugeot. And there's just a lot going on. And I don't know, the grip on their colonies is slipping.
Ricky said a couple of things that important to note, that the nations in the alliance of the Sahel states, they see themselves as one entity. They do not see themselves separately as Burkina Faso, Niger, and no, they are the alliance of the Sahel states.
Wonderful.
One fist.
No borders. Have they eliminated their borders? Like you know what? Let me be quiet. I'm asking too many questions. Go ahead.
That's why they're an alliance, because they're like, you know what? Fuck these borders, fuck these separations. We are one state.
Nice.
That and anybody who comes against one of us, they got to deal with all of us. And then just send chills up my spine.
It is.
That was the Pan-African Holy Ghost.
Palestinian Jesus has entered the chat. Let's go.
Love it.
But also Ricky said that Obi, shout out to Obi from the Remix chat, who is in the Sahel states right now.
Wonderful.
Wow. I cannot wait to be able to get on a plane and disappear again.
Yeah, same.
Although I don't think this is the time to be flying, beloveds. I don't. Something is telling me stay out the air as much as possible. I just, well, I mean, really because of all the Boeing shit, right?
Oh, well,
Well.
So I mean, if you're gonna fly, make sure it's an Airbus. double check that make and model of your airplane and see if it's an Airbus. Do not get on that Boeing.
You know, the Airbus kind of freaks me out. It does. I'm not I fly because I like to travel. Like I understand that flying is just a part of the thing that I have to do to get to see other places. And if I don't want to, be on a boat for 3 weeks, or which I've never done a cruise, and I don't think I want to.
No, long-term
cruise
road
becomes scary. Yeah.
Road trip through Central and South America.
Yeah, I could do that.
Let's go. Let's go, ladies. Let's do it.
I'm down. I am definitely down. But I flew an Airbus to Colombia in 2021, and man, that I was like literally in there counting the people. Like, what? How is this possible? I'm on this plane. Like, how are all of these people gonna stay in the air on this day? And I just like, let me take this fucking Xanax before I lose my mind.
Listen, that Spirit Airlines flight had to do, well, they thought they were going to have to do a water landing. They were leaving, I think, Montego Bay, Jamaica, headed to Fort Lauderdale, and they had been in the air 10 minutes, and the pilot came on and said, we're going to have to turn around, and the shit started smoking and whatnot. I said, you know what? It may not be the best time.
I can't talk about planes. I can't.
Okay, I'm sorry.
I think that flying is very safe. I have no problem with air travel as a rule. I think, obviously, statistically speaking, traveling via air is safer than traveling via car, right? Like,
this doesn't work on phobias, Kim. I know it's true, but that's not how it works.
But you know what does work on phobias?
Let you be.
You know what does work on phobias though?
What's that?
Xanax. So
yeah.
But a bow. LJ, did you say you had a story?
No, it's not.
Talk to us about Russia, because you've got your Afro-Rusin experts here.
Oh yeah. Well, yeah. Let me put it in the chat. I just wanted to get your thoughts on the connections between North Korea and Russia, because President Putin just had a visit to Pyongyang to chat with the president there.
Is it daps and hugs when Putin and is it daps and hugs?
It was like a little double kiss. It was actually, I thought it was going to be a little more formal, but they both seemed happy to see each other. So Russian President Vladimir Putin arrived in North Korea on Wednesday on a trip that Pyongyang state media described as part of the two countries' efforts to build an independent multipolar world. As the heavily sanctioned states continue to bolster their growing economic and security ties. I think that's an important thing, and I thought you guys could expand on that, you both, with the sanctions that both Russia and North Korea have been under. I'm sure there's a lot to get into there. And their effort to build a multipolar world, in the sense that they're not really worried about the US's thoughts about their friendship. And I think that this is also alarming to Seoul, because Seoul is, so occupied by the United States and has been since the Korean War. So I was wondering if you could fill in a little bit more on possibly their relationship or how it's been developing lately.
Can I ask you a question, Jackie? Is North Korea a producer of munitions? I would assume that they are, since they build their own missiles and shit that be scaring the hell out of Korea and Japan periodically when they fire these missiles into the Sea of Japan. But if I'm not mistaken, aren't they, Russia and North Korea, have some trade ties via, armaments and weaponry and such?
And probably, other materials too, because North Korea is so heavily sanctioned by the United States. But an interesting, and not just the United States and all of its European ass buddies. The thing about this is, I always want people to come away from these discussions about these deals made by these leaders as don't look at them as Putin and what's the other dude's name?
Kim Jong-il.
Yeah, Il, or is it Kim? I forget which way it's backward that they. Yeah, so Putin and Kim making a pact. This is two governments that are heavily sanctioned by the U.S. who didn't have any animosity toward each other, already had trade deals with each other, but because of the actions of the U.S. and its allies, they have been pushed into a corner together, by the actions of the U.S. So I think from my perspective, and it's not like, Putin and Kim are good personal friends. That's not the point. they are setting up a situation where both of their countries can not withstand but flourish after the US imperialist influence goes away. That's what this is. They're just like, and of course the US is going to look at it and say, "Oh, look at these evil people plotting against us." And you know, they're just like, "No, we're making sure our people are going to be okay when y'all shit start to, you know, crumble to the ground. We ain't think about you."
The irony, though, if Trump gets reelected, just put Trump in the middle of that sandwich. He will be right there with his arms around Putin and Kim Jong-il. Like, these are my buddies. What's the problem?
You know, I don't know. I don't think so. I don't think so.
I
Because
totally think so. Because Trump, even to right now, says there would be no war in Ukraine if he was president.
Well,
and
that's
I think
true.
if he gets elected, I think the whole policy towards Ukraine is going to change almost overnight. You know what I mean? So
Well,
I see Trump definitely putting himself in the mix with Putin and Kim Jong-il, possibly at the same time, because he will brag and boast that he's the only one that could do it, right?
Yeah, I don't see Trump having less animosity toward North Korea than every other US politician does.
He did in his first term, Jackie. He went over there and visited.
Yeah, he visited, but what happened?
But he was the only one to visit. No other
Nothing.
U.S. president has ever visited North Korea. They've always
Nothing
been
has
underlings.
changed. Nothing changed toward North Korea from US policy, even when Trump visited. Absolutely nothing changed. He visited, it was his photo op, and that's why he did it. But the policies toward the North Korea from the US, the posture toward North Korea from the US, and the sanctions, that's the important part. Trump visited, but he lifted not one sanction against North Korea, not one. Nothing. So, you know, Trump does or says a lot of stuff, and he does a lot of stuff that is purely window dressing, and it's ego and narcissistic driven, and it doesn't have anything to do with policy. Because should he come back into office, which again, folks, highly likely, we are in scoundrel time. Anything can happen now. I think Trump will make a big deal about not sending any more money to Ukraine to fight Russia. But I don't think he will lift any sanctions against Russia. I don't think he would change the posture, the economic and political posture toward Russia.
I think he would lift some economic sanctions.
No, because he didn't in his first term. He didn't in his term.
But the more sanctions got applied even after Biden got elected, right?
Yes, that's true. But you remember, we're not talking about what a particular politician says. We have to look at whether that politician changes the actual policies toward a country. Visiting a country is like, that is PR. That's all it is.
I think Trump undermining NATO, at least as it relates to Russia, I think Trump undermining NATO and telling NATO countries that y'all gotta pay more and we not putting in as much, that does affect the relationship with Russia, because that helps to embolden Russia, which I'm for, by the way. Put NATO back on its heels a little bit. Tell them that they don't or cannot expect the same level of support from the United States, and that does help to bolster Putin's position on the continent.
I don't. What do you mean? Put his position on what continent?
On the European continent. On the European continent, if NATO is undermined, if the NATO alliances in Europe know that they cannot, or believe, or have the impression from the U.S. president that they cannot expect the same level of support, and matter of fact, he's going to tell y'all to leave Putin alone, coming from the United States, that helps to strengthen Putin, which again, I'm not opposed. I'm not opposed to Putin being strengthened against NATO countries. But I'm just saying that policy does change with the president, right? And
well,
Trump.
No, I don't think it does, because I think we have to remember that the liberal establishment, and I do mean like the liberal establishment, or I should say neoliberal establishment as it exists in geopolitics, world geopolitics, hates Donald Trump.
Yes.
They hate him. So he can say he's going to not give NATO money, all he wants to, but that's not going to disband NATO.
No, not
Not.
disband.
You know,
But
and it's not going to
lie.
change. Yeah, and it's not going to change the position of other European countries and their leaders toward Russia. They hate Trump too.
Yes,
Trump
they
is
do.
a pariah among the liberal politicians of the imperialist order. They hate that man. They do not want him back in office
They
because
hate Putin more. They fear Putin. They hate Trump, right?
I don't think they fear Putin. I just think they like the benefits of being allies of the US. I don't think anybody fears Putin.
I think they
Um,
do fear Putin. That's why they keep pushing up to Russia's borders. That's why Finland is now a member of NATO, right? Like that's why all these border or these satellite states or these states that border Russia or right there, that's why Ukraine's trying to get into NATO, right? Like because they do fear Putin, because that's why they want to point missiles right at Russia's borders because of whatever they think Russia might do or try to reclaim its former Soviet satellite states or whatever.
I don't think that is I don't think it is fear that drives that kind of policy toward Russia. It is I think it is plain old red scare anti-communism, thinking that thing like, oh, Russia's gonna reconstitute the USSR. That's ridiculous. Nobody believes that's actually going to happen, because those countries have been hell, NATO is in those countries, surrounding Russia, the former Warsaw Pact countries. I don't think they fear Russia. I think there is a lot of animus toward Vladimir Putin as a person. But I don't think they fear like a military attack from Russia. They just don't like Putin entirely. And that's only because the US says so. Otherwise, Russia would be minding its damn business and Europe would be minding its business if it weren't for the US.
I think if we connected back to what we were talking about earlier with the Chiquita bananas, I think we're still locked in this sort of, last stages of this colonial empire, right? So they're still operating with the psychology of like, oh, those people in Russia, those people in China, those people in North Korea. Because like even when I was in South Korea, just the random thoughts that I would get from people, they would say like, but those people are entirely different from us. They're a completely different like species almost. And I'm like, but I don't know. And they're like, yeah, even their Korean has changed so much. Like we can't even understand them anymore. And I was like, really? And so, it's really this sort of, you have to keep up this ideology of like, these people are barbarians. These people, this is how you can have a genocide over 8 months and kind of just go to work. Like, shouldn't everything be shut down because of what we're witnessing, right? On the earth, like not be doing this right now. Like, shouldn't we be? But how do you keep it going, right? You keep people invested in the project, both globally and domestically.
Speaking of guys, did you guys hear that BB is coming to town?
He is coming to town.
BB's coming to town July
BB and
24th.
CC?
BB and CC Winans, that is correct, Doctor. They are coming to the U.S. Capitol to address Congress.
Oh,
yes.
Snap. There'll be some church up in there.
I need to know. Yes, it's okay.
They would all just pass out, I think. Too much.
No, Netanyahu's coming to town, everybody. Mark your calendars, July 24th. Let's give him a nice welcome.
Let's do what they did in
the anti-Zionist and pro-Palestinian folks.
Where was it? The indigenous people gave Will and Kate the what for? They couldn't even let them land.
What was that?
Remember
Belize?
that?
Yes, beloved.
What was that?
Belize, I believe.
Shout out.
Yes. So you can't even land. Don't even put that raggedy ass Royal Air Force nonsense down here.
Listen,
like on the one hand, I'm the thing about Netanyahu visiting and giving an address to Congress. On the one hand, it's like, what basement, sub under like hell level of government do we have that the purveyor and the driver of an ongoing genocide is going to come and address Congress in this government while the blood is still dripping from his hands and his hem. But then again, we just talked about the United Fruit Company paying the CIA to coup. So it's like, on the one hand, it's shocking, right? But on the other hand, when you look at the history of this country, it's like, well, it's just kind of par for the course. And the question for me is, as always, are we just going to sit back and not challenge it and go, oh, that's so terrible, and then go on about our day, go on to work, like you said, LJ, or what else we fitting to do? Because this is a wild moment. Like, it's like people are always talking about, oh, you know, if I was alive during slavery, I would have done, you know, if I was alive during World War II, I would have done. Well, you know what? Whatever you are doing now is exactly what you would have done.
Talk that talk. I'll tell you what we finna do.
What we finna do here, Doctor?
We finna get up out of here, but before we do, let's make sure we go around and y'all did a great show today, ladies. I must
10
say.
o'clock already?
Yeah, it's actually passed.
I have
You
10
know.
o'clock.
That's why the ear doctor's here.
You know it. Any things y'all talking about in your shows that we want to let everybody know about?
Come join me tonight over on Twitch. BIDWKB on Twitch is Kim's Twitch Turn Up. We are still celebrating Black music. This is when I put my DJ hat back on, and you know, I try to be my best ear doctor over there, except I'm not mixing, but I'm just playing the jams. So in honor of Black Music Month, I'm doing a show about remixes, actual remixes, not what the fuck passes for a remix in 2024. I'm talking about an actual remix where it's a whole new beat, new verses, new everything, new hook, a remix, an actual remix. So join me tonight, sometime between 5 p.m. and 7 p.m. Eastern at BIDWKB on Twitch.
All right. What about you, Jackie?
Friday on Darker Than Blue, Sean and I will be talking to the Dr. Gerald Horn. Just I'm getting ready for that hour. And yes, the return of Dr. Linwood Tauheed, Blackonomically Speaking, this Friday. So yeah, tune in.
All right, dope. I was just looking over at our new IG of Black Liberation Media, and we only got like 37 followers, but today we got like 500 people that tuned in live. The math ain't mathing, y'all. All you really got to do is just pull your phone out, go to IG, Black Liberation Media, and come on, stop playing.
All right, me go follow right now.
We're gonna be doing a lot of that. Black
Follow right now.
Do I have to unfollow Black Power Media on Instagram?
You wrong question. Just
I'm just starting shit. Don't pay me.
You are. I see you. I'm not.
Should I unfollow?
I mean, I'm not gonna say no. I'm just gonna put it out there that Black Liberation Media is who you want to follow now.
If you want to follow us, follow Black Liberation Media.
That's correct. That's correct. All right, so we out of here. Thank y'all all for tuning in once again. Like, subscribe, and all them things. As I take y'all out with a quick mix, and we are out of here on Women's Wednesday Remix Morning Show. Let's go.
Happy people.
Happy what?
Juneteenth. White people go to work.
Let's go. Once again, Remix Morning Show, as we get ready to get out of here on this note. Let me give y'all a little bit of something to send y'all out in the right way. And hopefully y'all day will be as glamorous as mine is. Let's go.
I'm not in this world to live up to your expectations. Neither are you here to live up to mine.
Haha. Teach, preach.
I don't owe no one no obligation. No one owing none, so everything is fine. Hear them say, dreadlocks get living.
And we out of here, y'all. Remix Morning Show. Let's go.
Dreadlocks get living a tenement. Yeah, dreadlocks get living a tenement. Yeah,
too much watchy. Too much watchy.